Well, hello, golfers. Chris here, and this is The Game. The goal of this podcast is to help you lower your score in the shortest amount of time possible without spending a fortune on lessons, clubs, or gimmicks. Our aim is to help you improve your mind, body, and skill so you can become a single-digit handicapper. And we want you to be able to do it all on your own, teaching yourself the game.
Have you noticed when you watch golf tournaments on TV that almost every successful PGA Tour player invests sweat equity in the gym, and yet their equipment stays pretty much the same from season to season? Could it be that their fitness level and not their equipment makes the difference in a successful golf game? Go to golfthin.com and get the Shed Pounds to Safe Stroke system that is a paint-by-numbers plan for golfers. All you need is 30 minutes a day, and you will see results that no club nor ball can match. golfthin.com.
Hey, welcome golfers to the Golf Aggressive Podcast, also known as The Game. I am joined by Rich Guzzo, our tamed golf pro. He has some new sleeping accommodations he needs to tell us about, and I'm hoping they're not too dangerous, but knowing that he's an Australian and they do things a little bit differently than we do here in America, it's probably wrought with all kinds of danger and giant knives and Crocodile Dundee stuff. So, Rich, how's the sleeping accommodations?
The sleeping under the stars has taken a twist because it's snake season here in South Texas. And so I caught this little beauty on the golf course last night. So, yeah. So
Already got him stuffed and mounted.
Yeah, I've already got him ready for the mantle.
Sweet.
All I need now is like a battery operated one so I can get the tail to do the rattle. And
yeah.
Then, oh my goodness.
That would be fantastic.
Yeah.
That would scare me if I saw it.
Yeah, so there's a Instagram account that I've seen on, and basically that's what they do. They put a snake on the side of the golf cart. Guy comes in from hitting his tee ball, puts his club in the bag, walks around, and scares the living crap out of him. So, so I had to upgrade my little tiny green snake to this little. I think it's an Eastern Diamondback. So I think it's a pretty good replica. So.
Yeah, the ones around here are more of a greenish, dark green.
So here we go.
Color.
Not only am I like on the top 10 of worst golfers to play with because I smoke cigars, but now I've got snakes. Then I'm going to scare the living shit out of you.
I like it. That goes in a golf bag.
That might be why my the group I play with has gone from like 12 golfers to now we're lucky to get a group. So
nice. You should actually put that in like the little cubby hole. So they don't see it right away, and then when they get in the golf cart, they'll like to put their towel in there.
Yeah.
Boom, you got them.
Oh God, there's so many places we can stick it. So yeah. So we did the drink cart girl. Oh my goodness, she's such a lovely girl. But yeah, and it wasn't with the replica either. It was with the little green one, which didn't even look real. So
I've seen snakes on that golf course when I was out in the. I think AJ, we were looking for his ball or something and saw a snake, and I've never seen anyone run more like a girl screaming than AJ when he saw that snake. He just took off and bolted.
I guarantee he's probably seen the most snakes out there. And right now is snake season down here. I mean, it's perfect weather. The rough is growing up thick and they're just coming out. So yeah, we saw one on Sunday. The week prior, we saw 2 or 3. And so, yeah, it's not fun.
Yeah, got to be careful where you hit your ball down there.
Yeah, you got to keep it in play.
So today's podcast is going to cover endurance and 4 ways that we think that you can implement pretty easily that will get you playing, more than 18 holes per day. So Rich played, I think, 54 or 45 holes on Sunday, and if you don't know Rich's story, in January, he did our flat belly challenge, and that's a 6-week, but we expanded it to 8 weeks. And how much weight have you lost so far since starting in January?
I jumped on the scale this morning, so it's about 35 pounds. So, yeah.
So how do you feel like just compared to the old fat Rich?
So after on Monday, I felt pretty good. Usually that's what will happen. I can probably do 54 holes, but it's the recovery process. And I found not just the recovery and being able to play 54 holes, but I'm able to get my swing back on a plane or a different angle to where I can hit my nice butted draw. And that's been really the exciting bit, is when you put a bit more weight on, it changed my swing plane. And I was taking the club more on the outside line or coming over the top motion. And you'll see most guys that are a little bit heavy stock have that motion.
So you're working around your belly.
Yeah, and so they have a cut versus I've always predominantly liked to hit a draw. And so I'm noticing that now where I'm getting my baby draw back again. And with that, I can get more length. Plus, I'm working out. I'm in better shape. So it's all come together really nicely. So, yeah, I've hit, I've set mini targets on weight loss. So ultimately, I want to get back to what I weighed when I was in college at 180. So, but I knew that was a huge task. So I've set little goals.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost comical. I found those pictures on my hard drive from it was when I lived at those apartments that had the golf course on them. The
links, I think it was.
Yeah, it was taken in the kitchen, and you looked like a little tiny guy. And these were
remember that was 20 years ago too. We're no spring chickens anymore.
Well, also these were the before pictures back then.
Yeah,
and you looked like a little tiny guy at the time, which was pretty awesome.
And that's
back, and so you're kind of getting back to where you were in college, which I think is important.
Yeah, because I mean, I used to play college events typically like 36 on Monday and 18 on Tuesday, and you walk and carry your bags. So endurance is a huge factor when it comes to that. So I go play 54 holes now. I'm in a golf cart. So yeah, there's still a lot of emphasis on in fitness and endurance for that, but not like what it was in college. So getting back to that is my ultimate goal. And so, I have to realize it's a long process. It's not something overnight. And so, yeah, I've just set mini goals. And once I've achieved those, I set new goals and try and get to that ultimate goal.
Yeah. So we've got a 4-step process here. And step number 1 is obviously you need to get into better conditioning. And you can do that through HIIT, which is high intensity interval training, which we used back in January, February to get kind of Rich jump started on burning some fat. But in addition to that, if you are an already skinny guy, you need to build up your conditioning. And these HIIT workouts are absolutely perfect for that. So that's step 1. Step 2 is resistance training. And a lot of people don't really think about lifting weights to help build their endurance, but it's crucial because when you're walking around, you're carrying heavy golf shoes. Like Rich wears those baby shoes. That's what I call them. Those white old business shoes. Whereas I wear really light tennis shoes. I mean, sometimes I'll just golf in regular tennis shoes. So if you're wearing the baby shoes, you need to have a little bit of strength, which Rich did a master's strength workout, which we'll talk a little bit more about later. So you need to build up your strength as well to help build that conditioning for, 1836, 54, if you want. Third is hydration. We live in the South. It's kind of dry. It's not as humid as, say, the Southeast. I remember when we went to South Carolina, just the difference, how much it felt like I was sweating more. It was a lot more sweat pouring off my body. And it really wasn't that hot. I think it was like 90 degrees or something like that, maybe a little hotter. But, the hydration aspect of it, I can remember drinking probably 6 or 7 bottles of water that round, and that wasn't even near enough. And then fourth, we want to talk about actually just getting off your ass, getting out of that golf cart and getting a smaller bag and going for a walk. I mean, the last time I walked was at Torrey Pines in San Diego, And it was one of the most enjoyable rounds of golf I've ever played. I was just out there on the golf course. I didn't even really care what I shot. I was just taken in by the beauty, the ocean, the mountains, everything. And, I wouldn't trade that for anything. It certainly wouldn't have been as enjoyable in a golf cart, because Rich and I played Tory in a golf cart, probably 5-6 years ago. But that was different. Rich had a massive headache that day.
Oh, it was horrible.
He didn't enjoy the day at all. And it's a shame, because it's such a beautiful, beautiful place. So those are our 4 tips. 1, high intensity interval training. 2, resistance training. 3, hydration. And 4, getting off your ass and just walking. So Rich, I mean, you've noticed the change in your swing for the better. You've noticed that you can play longer. So how do you feel the day after when you play 36 holes as opposed to before?
Before, I was struggling. So, I would take probably 2 or 3 days just to recover. Now, I mean, Monday I went straight into my workout and fine. And then last night I played tennis, and today I'm fine still. So yeah, it's the recoveries basically. Straight away, I'm feeling much better. So, touching on the intensity program for your first point, what I have always found, well, I guess I was brainwashed to think that for me, in order to lose weight or see pounds just shed off, I had to do 45 minutes to an hour of cardio. And I used to be able to do it, but I've lost motivation. I can't do more than 20, 30 minutes on any type of cardio program.
I mean, it's boring as hell, isn't it?
Yeah. So when I went through the flat belly challenge, we did the 20-minute interval cardio. And what I really found is I could give it everything I've got for 20 minutes. So it would do high intensity for 30 seconds to 45 seconds, drop it down for a minute and a half rest, and then go back up. So you're up and down, up and down. And for 20 minutes, I really felt like I put as much effort into it, and I'm getting the results from it. I would get better results if I was doing 45 minutes.
And what's great about it, that is there's a ton of research that shows doing the high intensity interval training actually burns more calories when you're done. So it has an afterburn effect. And another thing, I want everybody out there, if you're at the gym or you go to a gym on a regular basis, I want you to actually look at the people doing cardio at a slow, easy pace. I mean, they could even be going balls out on the elliptical. But if they're doing it at a steady pace for an hour, I want you to just look at them physically. And I think what you're going to discover is they look soft. They don't have that firm, chiseled look. Now look at the people lifting weights. When I go to Gold's Gym and I walk around the weight area, it looks like a bodybuilding show. When I go over to the cardio area, it looks like the marshmallow show. There's something to lifting weights and doing the high intensity interval training. You just can't get it from the slow, boring cardio. Not only that, are you really wanting to sit there for an hour every day, just going through the motions? I get bored doing that personally.
Yeah, I mean, it's the attention span is just, it's not there. It's not there for me, and I guarantee it's not there for a lot of other people too. So with 20 minutes, you can really give it 100%. So if it, for those 30-second bursts, with the flat belly, depending on what level you're in, you would do 7, maybe 9, or I think 10 on intensity level.
You can't go any harder. It's running for your life.
And
level of 10.
Yeah. So, you can give it 100% at that rate for 30 seconds. If I was to try and stretch it out to 5 minutes, I'm like, it's not going to happen.
Well, another benefit of doing the high intensity interval training, it's almost like a contest. I want you to think back, Rich, to the first time you did it. How did you feel?
Like I said, I mean, the 20 minutes feels like I've done more than I would have in 45 minutes to an hour the old way. And the old way was, I didn't do too much on intensity level. I might change the incline. If I'm on my elliptical or if I'm running, I might, go up a hill. And so, but after just 20 minutes, I actually felt really good.
But compared to now,
oh, now,
how do you
yeah.
feel? It's
So
night and day, isn't it?
yeah. So what I have to be careful of now is I have to adjust my intensity levels even further, because I've already, like when I first started, I was doing, say, my rest was on 3 and my high intensity was on 7. Well, if I do that now, I'm not really getting enough out of it. So I've
Yeah, you need
progressed.
to basically upgrade the
Yeah.
resistance.
Yeah. So my rest periods, 4 or 5, and then I'm on 10 plus on the intensity level.
Yeah, and one thing that we're not bringing up is when you were doing a lot of the elliptical, you got an overuse injury, and I remember telling you, it's like, keep doing it, you're going to get an overuse injury, and you got one I think in your foot, didn't you?
Yeah, it was like a minor case of plantar fasciitis, and so yeah, it's not fun at all. So
Oh,
so I was very cautious of that because I mean, elliptical for me is I love being on an elliptical machine, and for that 20 minutes, I love it even more. So I had to be careful of that. One of the big things is making sure I stretch well, and not just my ankles and my feet area. I'm making sure I stretch my entire lower body. Because what I found with the plantar fasciitis or any type of foot related injury, those can stem from like a hamstring or even your glutes. So, I had to be careful that, and I was aware of that. So after each session, I did a really good stretch out. And if my workout in the challenge incorporated a cool down, I would do that after my interval cardio. Or I think we had the stretch and recovery on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So I would add in interval cardio before it, and that way my stretch and recovery was performed right after it. So
yeah, and the workouts themselves, when you look at those people on the elliptical or the treadmill at the gym that are just going at the slow pace for an hour, that's just a waste of time, brother. I mean, you're not getting anything out of that, really. Go walk around the mall. Go walk 9 holes. That's better for you because of the elevation changes and carrying a bag. But it's about time. With the resistance training and the interval training, we combine those in shed pounds to shave strokes, and also in the flat belly challenge. So you'll do a workout for 20 minutes with weights, and then you'll go to the doing in your cardio. But the thing is, each one of these is a challenge. The resistance training is a challenge against yourself. The HIIT training is a challenge against yourself. You're always trying to be your last best. So on your weight training, I remember telling you, Rich, keep going up, because in the past, from what you told me, you kind of stayed at the same weights and you never really, like, every workout tried to beat yourself. And on this last one, I was just busting your balls. I was like, dude, you got to be trying to go up every single workout.
yeah, and that's what I did. So every week, a goal for me was to increase the weights. So I got to the point where after 8 weeks, I had maxed out. I got the adjustable Bowflex. So, quite a few of the exercises I was doing, I was maxed out to 52.5 pounds on each side. So, yeah, each week my goal was to adjust the weights and just continue increasing. And then in flat belly, we give them 3 different categories. So you can start at beginner and then upgrade to intermediate, and then we've got the advanced workouts. So
yeah, it's the same in shed.
yeah.
And Rich, honestly, you look better than you have in a long time. You look more athletic. You have muscle, you've built muscle, you're a lot stronger. So I mean, obviously the program has worked for you. Is there anything that you would want to change from the resistance and the HIIT training?
Um, Not really. I mean, that was that to me, the beauty of it was I needed to do something that I could see where I could do it for the long haul. I know for a fact that if this was a quick fix type of approach, then it wasn't going to work once I was off the challenge. So I had to ensure that what I was doing, so I made slight adjustments to where I knew I could do this when I travel, when I go play golf, because that's really the key. You know, we don't want to change these golfers' lifestyles. So we want to, you know, adjust it to so that you make good decisions. So I tried to, you know, I used to bring the guys donuts at the golf course in the morning, but I would always grab a few for myself. So I don't do that anymore. I would grab a couple of breakfast tacos at the clubhouse before I play. I don't do that anymore. But what I do is I bring in a couple bottles of water. I've got some carrots and hummus I can stick in the ice chest. I've got some replenishing drinks, and then I have a salad with chicken when I'm done. And so,
Yeah.
it's just changing my choices.
So
But
you're kind of talking about our intermittent fasting that we did in the flat belly challenge, which worked really well. But on the topic of hydration, I was just sent uh, this by the guys, Kyle over at Golf Fuel. And I actually got to test it a little bit yesterday. And what this is, it's a hydration drink. It's kind of similar to Gatorade, but it's actually better for you because it has amino acids in it. So you'll have a packet like this, and then you get a bottled water from the beverage cart girl or in your bag or whatever. And then you basically get this little deal. You shake it in there, you shake up the bottle, and you drink it. And you know, on here it says it improves mental focus with key amino acids and minerals. And let me see what's actually in here. I'll show you the box. I don't know if you can actually see that or not.
there are different flavors, or you just got one flavor there?
They sent me the lemon lime,
Okay.
and it's pretty good. It mixed pretty easily in the bottle, and I did it yesterday after my master's special leg workout, which I'm kind of testing and refining for a future challenge that we're going to do. I think maybe I might refine the challenge that's upcoming.
You need to hydrate yourself with a Master's cup or a Master's
I didn't
hat
get any
or a
master's
shirt.
cups, but I do have a Faldo cup, and I was able to find the Faldo secret testing facility in Orlando, Florida, off of International Parkway, only because
Not with my help, you didn't.
Not with my help at all. So we go to Orlando, and I tell Rich, I want to go to the Faldo Institute. I got to check it out. I hear they have this 360-degree driving range. You can hit any kind of wind shot you want. They have bunkers that you can hit out of and practice those. It's supposed to be amazing. And it's got a 9-hole. I think it was only a 9-hole course, right?
Yeah, 9-hole.
Which it was a pretty good track. So anyway, I'd say, Rich, I want to go there this afternoon. I've got a meeting. When I'm out of the meeting, we'll hit the car and we'll go over there. Well, I get out of my meeting, try to find Rich. He's gone. His meeting got canceled. He just doesn't want to wait around. Come to find out that he went to the Faldo range, checked it out, had a nice lunch, practiced, came back. He was exhausted, didn't feel like going. Next day, we go to the Faldo range, but it was across the street from the actual Faldo place, and I didn't know because I had never been. So get done hitting some balls there, go into the pro shop, and I wanted to buy some Faldo merchandise, like my mug here. Pro goes, "Oh yeah, that's across the street." And Rich is just laughing it up, having a good time. Anyway, we finally made it to the actual real Faldo range the next day, but I was so upset. But, back to the story, these little packets, they don't cost very much. you get this huge box of them. You throw one of these smaller boxes into your bag, and when it starts to heat up, you just drink, maybe 2 bottles of water per 9, and you're going to feel a lot better. You're going to be more focused. I think it has, let me see it's got beta carotene in here, L-leucine, L-tyrosine, L-isoleucine, L-valine, and it's got vitamin C, your branched chain amino acids. So that's going to help keep you more focused and get more of the hydration into your body. And that's from golffuel.com. You can get it there. And
what's funny about that with hydration on the golf course is, we know when it's getting hot outside, we're getting thirsty, and our brain automatically knows. It's like a muscle memory deal. Drink some water. But what I find is when it's that kind of in between temperature, or maybe a little bit cooler than normal, we just tend to forget that we're like, we don't feel like our body needs water, and we'll just go along and play 9 holes and then realize I haven't drank any water. So yeah, I've often caught myself doing that, and what ends up happening is I end up getting a migraine at the end of the round.
So you get a migraine, but I just get I just get tired.
Yeah, fatigued. So yeah.
But if I drink a lot, when we were in South Carolina in the heat, when I was drinking a ton of water, I actually felt pretty good at the end of those rounds, and we were playing 36 holes a day.
Yeah. So I try and keep a schedule, and it doesn't matter what temperature it is. So I may adjust it slightly when it's really hot, but every few holes, I'm getting some fluids in me, just so that I can.
So every time you hit a shot, you need to take a sip of water.
Yeah. And if you take 10 reps with the arm curls, you take 10 reps with the water bottle.
10 reps of curls, you take 10 reps of water. That's a rep. That's a rep. Yeah, if you guys don't know what we're talking about, Google Arnold works at Gold's.
Yeah.
Watch that video.
I love it.
He actually gets in disguise and goes and works at a real Gold's gym. People are looking at him like, is that Arnold Schwarzenegger or not? They couldn't decide.
My name is Harold.
Yeah. Well, one guy walked in there and he was like, yeah, you're Arnold. Didn't even think about it. He's just like, yeah that's him. So our last point is walking the course. And, personally, I used to give Rich a really hard time about this thing he had when he lived in Japan. It was a push cart, I think. You remember that?
Yeah.
And you would go out and you would walk the course, because I think in Japan they don't have, like, golf carts are not as common as they are here, where almost every golf course has them. So you had like a little push cart.
They are, but I that was my transition. I wanted to get back to walking. So I I'll get a push cart. That way I don't have to carry the bag, and then I'll transition to carrying my bag, because ultimately that's what I wanted to do. So yeah, grabbing the push cart. What I found is when I had my push cart set up and I had a cover, so if it rained, it covered my entire bag. I had a adjustable flap for the clubs, and then I had on the handle, I had the umbrella. I would keep dry better than I would if I was in a golf cart when it was raining.
That's weird.
Yeah. So, I absolutely loved, I would be out there in my push cart if it was raining any day, versus being in a golf cart.
So I wanted to talk about maybe like a push cart versus a carry bag. And my thoughts have evolved over the years. Whereas, I thought, carrying your bag's more manly and this or that. But think about it. When you're walking over 4 miles on uneven surfaces and you're always going to carry the bag on the same shoulder, it's not like it's going to be an even load. Even if you have like the cross straps, one shoulder is going to be taking more of the load than the other. And if you could even that load out, my thought that I'm going to express here would be different. But that creates all kinds of imbalances in your body. So what I've decided to do, I'm going to get a push cart. And I'm
You
just going
are?
to walk. Yeah, I'm going to get a push cart.
All right, I want to see
I'm going
this.
to make it awesome. I'm going to have spinners on it and stuff.
Yeah.
But the reason
Yeah.
for that is I don't want to have anything kind of throwing my body off kilter. For it's almost like when I used to go to the chiropractor, I had like this George Costanza wallet, and I set it on the table, and the chiropractor would look at me and he was like, "What the hell is that?" I go, "That's my wallet." He goes, "You're not putting that in your back pocket, are you?" And I go, "Yeah, sometimes I do." And he goes, "And you sit down?" He goes, "You're just sitting like this. You're causing all kinds of this back issues." So it's just kind of the same thing, but you're putting the load on your shoulder, and it's never going to be an even load, even with the strap, because of the way the weight hangs. So I'm just going to get a push cart, and I'm not going to worry about it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you. I mean, when we first started playing golf together, like like 96, 97, the dual straps weren't even around.
No, we
So
had those ping bags.
yeah, the ping, and they just had the one strap. So I would finish my round, and my whole right side would be sore because I was carrying my bag.
Well,
And
it's
then I would
different for you
switch.
too, because you're in college walking 36 holes like that.
Yeah, and then even when I switched to, I think at the time, this was before the dual straps came out, there was a product called the ISO strap or something like that, and where it allowed us to attach it to the ping bag and do dual straps. That helped, but like you said, the club ends are going to be still heavier than the grip ends. So it still wasn't fully even, and I still had issues with that. But there's still a lot of golfers that even on college, it's a stigma thing, to carry it with one strap.
But if we're trying to get better and be more potent or perform better, shouldn't we make things easier on ourselves in that regards in a competition? If you're having to carry your back, because there was a tournament at the golf course and there's college kids, and I saw a few of them using push carts.
Yeah, it's slowly transitioning, but
why wouldn't you want to give yourself that advantage?
I think the tough thing with especially golf teams now is like those, even the small, like the click gears are the ones that can, you got 5 to 8 guys that travel sometimes, and sticking those in like your van, there's not enough room. It's like I can't put my old push cart in my car, in my trunk. It was too big.
I've seen them. They're like maybe 3 foot by 3 foot.
Yeah, so even
like
the
that.
smaller ones. So yeah, but I mean, it's evolved to where they've gotten a lot smaller, so you can travel with them a little bit better. But that's really I think the main issue why a lot of people haven't transitioned.
Yeah, so I mean, that's really it for this podcast on endurance is, get out there, do some HIIT interval training. The basic formula is 20 minutes, no more than that, 3 times per week. And you want to rest 3 times longer than your interval. So, for example, if you did a 20-second interval, you want to rest for 60 seconds. And, I think we did 30 seconds and a minute and a half rest.
Yeah, 30 seconds and a minute and a half. But I will also add this. If you know your body just doesn't function in a way at certain times of the day, just don't work out that time. So for me, I found working out first thing in the morning, I could do it, but I just couldn't give it the intensity level that workout deserves. So just don't do it at that time. Work something out. So if you've got something that you can shift in your schedule to do at that time, and then work it into where, it's say at like 11 o'clock in the morning is perfect. Do it at that time, because what you'll find is if you can really give it 100% for those interval bursts, you'll get so much out of it in just short 20 minutes.
Yeah, absolutely. So with that, picking the perfect workout time, you don't want to do that long, slow, boring cardio. You're not going to get anything out of it. Obviously, there's a caveat to that. If you are unable to perform high intensity interval training, you're maybe have an injury or things like that, it's perfectly fine to get on that treadmill or that bike and work your way up to the HIIT. So, I'm talking primarily if you're a healthy person, don't waste your time on that slow crap. It's not going to work for you. Secondly, you need to be lifting weights. This body weight stuff is great, and we transition to it from time to time just to allow our bodies to heal and work on some basics. But you need to be lifting weights. It's just good for you. It's good for your bones. It's good for your muscles. And as we all age, we need to be having more muscle on us. It's going to help a ton of things. It's going to help with definitely walking the golf course. Third, you need to have some kind of a hydration drink. I would say at least, it depends on your climate, but at least 2 bottles per 9, which is what I do. In the heat here, now that I'm going to start walking, I might go up to 3 per 9. And like I said, the Golf Fuel has one. You can do Gatorade. You can do all kinds of different things. And then fourth, just get out there and just try it. Just try to walk 9 holes and get a push cart. They don't cost that much. It's cheaper than a brand new carry bag. I saw them for anywhere from $100 to $200. $200 being really nice.
You know what's funny about that? And, the stigma is that walkers are slower than if you're riding a golf cart. And I get it. If you're just going out there for a couple of holes, like just to practice on the golf course, I get it. Golf cart's great to do that. But because you can get out quick, go back to the range, or go do whatever you want to have to do. But I saw some guys do some research on that to where, 4 guys go out walking, and then you got 4 guys in 2 golf carts. And the guys walking will always be faster.
But they're not having to haul each other's ass to the other guy's ball.
Yeah.
You and I, like when we play, it depends on who's driving. You can tell, like, okay, well, his shot's more important than mine. And
I'm here in the fairway, and you're over here, so we always go to mine.
Yeah. So Rich, sometimes he gets so focused and intent on playing the game and scoring that he will go to his ball and he didn't even think about yours. And you're like, dude, I'm way back over here.
You're playing in my group.
Yeah. So, I can see that. I could totally see that walking being much quicker.
Yeah. And the funny thing, when I was in Japan, there are golf carts. If you're on a local golf course, you have 1 golf cart for 4 golfers. So you got 2 seats in the front, 2 seats in the back.
And then way slow.
Oh, and most of the, like on Okinawa, there's no driving on the fairways. So you got a 4-person cart. The golf clubs all lay flat in the back. No cart path only. So the good thing was we did get some walking in, but you're looking at 5-hour plus rounds. And so it was a long day.
What's similar is when we played Sawgrass and we had the caddy. I thought that slowed things down tremendously.
Yeah.
Plus, that guy didn't know shit. He didn't know anything. Whoever you are out there, you don't know how to read those greens. You don't have a clue.
I gave him the benefit of the doubt fast too, and that was a wrong choice. So
don't listen to those guys.
Yeah. I mean, if you go to St. Andrews, you have to get one of the caddies. They are phenomenal. Our experience personally,
I think they're trained properly too by the old guys.
Well, they've been doing it. The guy I got when I went there in '95, I mean, he's been doing it for 40 years. And that was all he did. He would loop. And so, I mean, he knew, that blade of grass was 135 to that pin. And after a couple of holes of just watching what I hit with my clubs on the first few holes, he's like, okay, here's your club. And so it was, I mean, you couldn't get any better than that. And those greens, I don't think the TV does it justice, just like the TV doesn't do the Masters justice. Those greens are massive because there's like 3 or 4 double greens, and the undulation and how big they are. And I mean,
that's perfect for me because my greens in regulation would skyrocket up.
Yeah, but then your putts would be like 40 per round. And then could you imagine if I give you a club special? I mean,
50 or 60 putts per round.
Yeah, you might need a separate scorecard.
I can't handle my liquor at all. I don't know what it is, but I just I had a scotch the other night and I was feeling like I had 10 scotches.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Just don't go
anyway,
to
guys,
yeah.
thanks for joining us. It's been a real pleasure talking about endurance. So give these things a try and let us know how they work for you. I'm Chris, and I'm with Rich, our tame golf pro, and we are golfaggressive.com.